It's the basics of food, and that's what we teach here. Food has to look good, smell good, and taste good. If it's a hot food, we serve it on a hot plate. If it's cold food, cold plate. I mean, just basic understanding of food, using your senses when you cook. To me, that's what cooking with love means. My name is Frank Benowitz, and I'm with the Hotel Restaurant Management and Culinary Programs here at Mercer. I've been here for about 10 years now. I also serve as the Hospitality Club Advisor for our student club organization. When I personally got started into food, I've been involved in food probably since I was a child. I think most of us have in some capacity. More often than not as a necessity. If I wanted to eat, quite often it was I had to cook something for myself. So professionally I came to Mercer, and when I started at Mercer, I was actually a telecommunications major initially. And then I found Professor Goldman at the time, and he got me involved in hotel restaurant management. I enjoyed cooking and went into to that basically as a part-time to full-time job at the time. So I started off cooking at Friendly's, and I worked in Scanacon Hotel and then Holiday Inn Hotels and their restaurants. And overall, I only spent about 3.5 to 4 years in hotels and restaurants. And at that time, there was no Food Network, and there was the field was much more minimal. It was truly something that you had to really love, and you could be able to make a living at. And at that time, it was very difficult. It was basically repetitive and a lot of hours, and something for me that after 3.5, 4 years, I said, although I enjoyed, I could do this at home as a hobby still. And in turn, I went to the business side because I have degrees in both hotel, restaurant, and business, and was able financially to do a lot better. So then, come full circle, as I said, I've been here 10 years now, going through corporations. I found that Mercer County College, although pay-wise wasn't what I used to make, the position in this department is something that I never regret taking. And I've learned more probably working with food and working with students over the past 10 years, and gained a new appreciation that I feel I may have lost so many years ago. And now, again, my passion and my love for food as well as for education has been rekindled. I think often that we forget, when we say the word influence, that there can also be negative influences as well as positives. So I would say probably my parents in some regards, my grandparents, helping cook in the kitchen and what have you, tasting my father's food, and sometimes it was great, and sometimes it was horrible, and it was the same dish. So what I learned from that is you have to be consistent. You have to do something where if somebody wants you to make a dish, it's the fact that it looked, smelled, and tasted a certain way. Over the years, I've had the privilege in the past 6 years of working with a culinary team, and I've worked for some great chefs such as Admiral Lagasse and Bobby Flay. Not directly with them. Rick Bayless I got to spend a day with, and just observing them, but a lot of times I'm doing their prep with their recipes and just their insights. I spend 10, 15 minutes with a lot of these chefs, not hours and hours, so I can't say I've worked with them for years and I learned so many things, but just seeing how they're approaching food and their techniques and the way they want it to look, smell, and taste. I consider myself academically like a sponge. I try to absorb as much knowledge, and watching some of these chefs cook. I've assisted Rick Bayless in his demo, like I said, I spent a whole day with him, and just watching his approach to cooking food, and Michael Voltaggio, one top chef, assisting him for a day, watching his approach to food, so very different, and just looking and absorbing all these things. We had a few restaurants, and this semester we had 3. So all 3 had different chef instructors for them. So Chef Fee had the Wednesday class, which I sat in, the daytime one with him as well. The evening class was my class, and then Chef Jeff Johnson had the Friday class, which was more cafe style. So the food preparation 2 class is the one that I sat in with Chef Fee. That class and the Wednesday evening class of food preparation 2, that class is designed where the students actually run their own restaurant. So they come up with the menu, they come up with the concept, they come up with the theme, they come up with everything for that class. And it's very interesting. We give them the parameter. You need 4 appetizers, 5 entrees with matching sides, and one signature dessert. And then as a class, they do projects and they present their class menu, their theme, their restaurant name, and as a class they decide on 4 appetizers, 5 entrees with sides, and 1 dessert, based on a class of 16 people. So it's a collaborative effort, but it's different every semester. And that's what makes it fresh and interesting. And then what we do is we take these recipes that they come up with and we put our twist on it so that we tell them what makes this different than another restaurant in the area. If you want to serve grilled cheese for lunch, that's fine, but what's going to set you apart? Are you making your own fresh sourdough bread? Are you then taking a blend of 3 cheeses? Did you make the cheese yourself? So we did a mozzarella carrozza last semester, fresh mozzarella. We made it ourselves that morning. We made our own bread, and we took some ham that we had made, and we cured that and we sliced that thin, and it was quite delicious. So that's what you have to do. What's going to make it your own? You can't just serve everything that everybody else in the area is serving, because why would I go to your restaurant? Unless it's price or distance or something like that. What's setting you apart from your competitors? So that's what we try to instill in these students. You can do a grilled cheese, but what's going to make yours so special that somebody's going to drive or come into your establishment? It's something that I've found is very common ground with people, and I think that's why Food Network is so successful. And the reason I think Food Network is so successful probably is because everyone seems to enjoy, well, not everyone, you can never say all or everyone, but many people seem to really enjoy talking and conversing about food. So I think it's something that a lot of people are passionate about. And again, it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be something that looks, smells, and tastes good. And other people, I think, appreciate that a lot, and that's where the passion is derived from. You could talk, I know I personally can, talk about food for hours and days on end. And a lot of people are right there with you. They don't have to be in the industry, they don't have to be chefs, they don't have to have ever picked up a knife before. But if they like to eat food, they can become passionate about it. And that's really the beauty about what you refer to as passion. It's a common interest that people have because everybody's got to eat. So it's fun to talk about. Simple dish like bananas Foster that you saw me make in 5 minutes time. It looks, smells, and tastes good. And what's not to be passionate about? It's a job, and I work a good amount of hours here, but as Brinker would say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Our bananas Foster here. First recipe we teach our students in Food Preparation 1 here at Mercer County Community College. Hope you enjoy it.